So this morning I'm going to be trying to carve I'm going to describe it as an anatomical heart, but I'm not going to claim that it'll actually be anatomically correct. So I thought I would show you the process of designing and carving this little piece. I reckon this will take a few goes to get it right and to get it the right size, because ideally with my little charms I want them to be under the weight limit for hallmarking, because while I think hallmarking is a really good thing, it's pretty expensive to do, and for small pieces it hikes up the price, just more expensive than I'd like them to be. So yeah, it might take me a few goes because usually my first attempt is quite big and then I have to sort of scale it down in my second attempt. So I don't know how long it'll take, but it should be a nice thing to try and do. Yeah, let's see how this goes. So just before I start, I am using some reference pictures from historical sources, but I'm also using this app called Sketchfab, which I think is a free app. And basically you can search on Sketchfab for anything and you can see 3D images. So these are all uploaded by different people and I'm just going to use them as a reference. So they have like different levels of detail, but it's just really handy when you're making something 3D to be able to have a 3D view of it. So I'm hoping this will help me get somewhat accurate carving in, but yeah, we'll see. This is where we've got up to. It's proving pretty difficult, but I think it's quite a nice shape on the bottom. But I think rather than trying to refine this too much, because this is massive, I am gonna start again on something smaller. Let's just see actually how, out of interest, I'm gonna weigh this one. Okay, that's like 4 and a bit grams. So this would be like over 40 grams of silver. So yeah, very cool if someone was up for that, but yeah, maybe a bit big for the average customer. So same process, but going smaller. Okay, so there's attempt number 1, and what I've decided to do for number 2 is just sculpt the like muscle part of the heart from the solid piece, and then I'm now going to try and add all of the valves with, I think I'm going to roll some red wax first, but I think I'm eventually going to use the heat pen and maybe some other kinds of wax to try and make it a bit more solid. This is more the size I was going for in the first place, but it's good to have this as a reference. So yeah. Okay, not really loving this, so I think I'm going to take all that red off and try again. I think I've made the valves like a bit out of proportion to the muscle. So on Friday I started carving and I made this beast, which I clearly gave up on halfway through. But it was a nice starting point to figure out what kind of shape I wanted and what it looks like in 3D and all that kind of stuff. And then I moved on to one that I thought was going to be a lot smaller, which is a lot smaller to be fair, but I'm just not sure what I think of it. I think maybe my proportions are a bit funny. So the muscle bit of the heart, the bit that's carved in blue at the moment, I think doesn't match to the size that I've made the valves. Also, hearts are so complicated. So I think I'm going to start another one. I was hoping this guy, this top valve guy. Obviously doesn't actually do this in a heart, but I was hoping it would double as the part where the chain could go through. But I'm now thinking maybe that's part of why it looks so spooky. It's because it's got this like Mohican. So maybe I won't do that on the next one. And I'm wondering again if I need to make it even smaller. So let's weigh this guy. So this is completely not accurate, but generally I find they're about 10 times heavier in the silver. And this weighs 1.16 grams, which means it would be just way too heavy. So the thing I was talking about with hallmarking, I don't know if I properly explained, but basically if a piece is less than, I think it's 7.5 grams, it doesn't need to be hallmarked. But it might not be 7.5. I always go for 7 because I know that it's 7 point something. So really this needs to weigh 0.7 of a gram. So, been working on this all day. You can see I've like reinforced the red wax with some other colours, and I've also added some like veins. These aren't like super accurate. I think they give it more of the vibe that I meant. I quite like the holes in the tubes. I think they look quite good. But I'm not completely sure what I think of this, so I might need to sleep on it. Let's check what weight we're on now. Okay, yeah, so 0.6. So this is hopefully something that would come out below the hallmarking weight. So now it's just time to get a hole in it so we can hang it. So this is what it looks like on the chain. I just put it on there just to check it actually works. And yeah, I think it's cute. I think it hangs quite nicely. I think you can still tell what it's supposed to be. Obviously, while it's in the wax state, it has different colours, which kind of helps show different parts of it. So this is a bit of an experiment, really. I've also just been thinking, I should have thought about this before, but I've just been thinking about where it needs to be sprued. So in order to have it cast, it needs to have a like tube put on it to feed the metal in. But I'm hoping that this big flat section at the back would be good. So yeah, I think that should be okay. Just not sure about how big the sprue is going to need to be. To be fair, this is not too much different to my skull necklaces. Hold on, let me find one. Okay, this guy's been hanging out for a bit, so he needs a polish. But yeah, it looks similar in size to my skull, and I know the size of the sprue that this one needs is not too bad. And it's sprued here at the back usually, so I'm hopeful that this will be fine. So that's cool. So in here is the heart, so let's have a look. This is my first time using this particular casting house, which is dual cast. That's very cute. I've got my invoice there. Cool. Okay. I think it looks cute. So here, this little pointy boy is the sprue. So that's the bit I need to take off. But overall I think this looks quite cute. It's picked up a lot of the detail. It needs a bit of cleaning up, but this is very exciting. So I've put it on a chain just because I couldn't resist seeing what it looks like, and I
think it's very cute. I think you can still tell that it's a heart. It obviously needs quite a few more levels of like polishing and stuff, but just thought I'd show you. So this is what it looks like after hand filing and then using the coarsest tools that I have to go over the lines. I've tried to kind of give it a once over with the highest grit to try and sort of smooth out some of the lumpiness that I'd got in my carve. Let's weigh this. See how accurate I was with my estimations of the wax. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but yeah, that comes in at 6.36 grams. Okay, and now we have the finished piece. I'm really pleased with this. It's one of the more detailed and smaller things that I've done. I think I've managed to create something that does look like a heart, even if it's not anatomically correct. And I actually really love it. I think it's very cute. And if you also like this piece and enjoyed watching me carve it and would like it for yourself, I am actually giving this away as a Valentine's Day giveaway gift over on my Instagram. If you head to my Instagram, tag a friend in the comments, and as a bonus entry, if you leave a comment on this video, that will also count as an entry. I should say it is only open to UK people at the moment, just purely for shipping and logistics reasons, and I will be announcing the winner on Valentine's Day, which is obviously Sunday the 14th. You'll get to go home with one of you guys. I'm excited about this. And as always, if you head over to tbh_jewelry on Instagram, you'll be able to find all of my stuff there. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and happy Valentine's Day.